Hey, thanks for tuning in to the Quick and Slow Comedy Show. I'm Aaron Maslow. I'm a co-producer of this show alongside Nick McQuik, who currently resides in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, where the price of oil will sink your soul. Today on this show, we've got a fun episode. It's a continuation, aka part 2 of the Dave Husereau, Matt Alladine affair. It's kind of an interesting situation as David Husereau was a chef and still is. He also was on Canada Chopped, which is a television show for people who cheferize, with Matt Alladine, who is the world's fattest contortionist. Let's see what these two get together and do. Probably make each other snacks. Matt's a great guy, and so is Dave. You guys are going to enjoy this show. Nick's here, Brent's here, Jamie's here. The whole gang, really. Everybody but me. Enjoy the show.
Yeah, Irish
happy
Catholic.
Happy house or unhappy house?
Depends. Yes, up
Really?
and down. It all depends because, like, I come from like a weird family. I got one mom and like 56 dads.
Okay.
So we moved around a lot. So like, some were happy.
Hey, me
some
too.
weren't. Yeah.
Okay.
So
How okay, in the amount of energy that you'd put where booze represented in your family growing up, what would you give it in a 1 to 10?
1 to 10, like the amount of like
How
energy
much
it consumed. or-
energy just where it pushed your family or
Oh,
just,
I'm gonna put it like a solid 8.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna put
like
her up there.
when I talk about that, like, okay, where the fights start or where the money is or where
Yeah,
what happened on the weekend or you know what I mean. Stuff
Well,
like
there were some times where I remember like it would be like I'd open the fridge and there'd be tons of booze, but there'd be no food. Oh yeah, I remember when I was probably like
wow.
13, I took an onion and I cut the onion into thin slices, and I took the onion and put peanut butter on it, and then put the onion and ate onion and peanut butter. We didn't have bread, we didn't have meat, we didn't have rice, we didn't have like none of the staples. We didn't have eggs, we didn't have milk.
Okay.
Just eat the straight peanut butter. Why do you even involve the onion?
I was okay.
Sit down and eat
Matt,
the peanut
you're
butter.
thinking I just have to eat for me. I gotta spread this peanut butter out. I gotta make sure that I'm rationing this.
It's Chopped Canada Poverty Edition.
Yeah, I'm rationing the peanut butter out so that we don't start eating Lego, okay?
You got chopped, really? So what? Now what? I still have nothing.
It's not like I lost anything.
Yeah.
I'm actually
Thanks for the meal.
200% totally down with that concept.
Yeah.
Chopped Canada Poverty Edition, where they get like a jar of half-empty jar of peanut butter, a fucking half an onion, and the other half is moldy. Like,
a pickle
and like
a package of cigarettes. Yeah.
and a whiskey bottle with just like the little driplets of whiskey at the end of it. And you have to make a meal?
That's where my cooking really came to shine. It was like, basically, I remember doing thing. And I don't know what the statute of limitations is on this, but hopefully not very long. Way back.
I
in
hope
the
this
day,
is about murder. Before you get fucking started, I hope this is fucking what you
and
wrote.
cannibalism.
Yeah.
No, but I remember the one time the neighbors would leave for work, and I would go to school and then I come home, and the neighbors would be left for work. So I would go into the neighbor's house, and you could open up the window in the basement. I would go in and steal food from their deep freeze and bring it home and then cook it.
Otherwise, we'd get along.
Yeah, so
McQuik
basically
Valjean.
like Aladdin.
I have lots of these Doritos. If anybody wants these Doritos, like I brought Doritos. So.
Jamie looks hungry. So.
Yes, there's tons of Doritos, and there's a pre-rolled Dorito there. And
But yeah, I remember breaking to my neighbor's house to steal food all
and
the time.
where was this, Edmonton, or where was this?
Well, what are you, a cop?
Hey.
No, I'm curious as to where you
He
grew
looks
up.
like he could be a cop, actually.
I want to get
Yeah,
back.
touch it.
I want to get back.
Touch
To,
all
I
of
want to
it.
get back to Maddie thinking that I might be an undercover cop to bust this crazy underground comedy, fucking almost living on the fucking borderlines of poverty. All ya, like there's
Undercover
you
cops
know what I
can
mean?
smoke marijuana.
Do you know what I mean?
They can
He's like,
smoke
oh, we've been
Yeah,
looking for that
yeah,
food
that's right.
thief for
What is it-
years.
What is this? Some sort of. I'm trying to find some subversive McCarthyism, some sort of
Finally
communist party,
fucking
and I'm
found
like,
him.
You know what I mean? So, anyways,
And your partner is Corey Theckinger.
I love that. I love that kid. I love that kid. I will cut back to Corey. Okay, I want to go back to.
My biggest question about this whole story is who plays you in the biopic?
Oh, geez, I don't know. What's that Harry Potter ginger thing doing?
Oh, Ron Weasley.
Yeah, is he still just driving an ice cream truck being
Grint?
insane?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Now, and then my second question is, who plays your mother?
Who plays my mother? Is the woman from Throw Mama from the Train still alive? Because she has. If she put on a fat suit, she would do her well.
Is your mom still alive?
Yeah.
And you guys, how's your relationship with her?
Rocky sometimes. She's recently, about 10 years ago, her father, who's a doctor and a huge anti-Semite, and he hates me.
He's overweight or really hates Jews?
He hates Jews.
He's a really big
Yeah,
anti-Semite.
he's both.
He's a big.
Yeah, he's an extra large anti-Semite. But so he said to her, if you go to school and you do your attendance and you show up and you test clean for drugs, I will pay for your school, I will pay for your rent, I will cover all your bills. So my mom went to college for 10 years to get a 2-year degree in library assistance, and now she works at a library.
So she's monetizing that. She's fucking cashing that
So
6-digit salary.
So she works at a library. No, she makes $18 an hour.
I got it. I understand how commerce works.
Yeah. So that's her.
The anti-Semite.
now.
I just imagine Nick at the dinner table doing the "not welcome."
Oh, he hates me. Because that's the thing.
Thanks for not leaving me hanging on that. I was a high risk.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I've seen this movie.
What happened was my mom, because she had me when she was young, so I guess she's not going to die for a while. But her dad is a huge Irish Catholic, hates Jews. So she runs away from home.
I can't stand them.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Sounds
With
spot on.
all their crazy,
Yeah,
stinky cooking
potatoes.
and money lending,
Yeah.
I got no time for them.
Their contracts.
You know what they're trying to take? You read their book.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do.
It's like he's here. It's
They're trying to
terrifying.
take over the world with their Jewy ways.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But, so my mom runs away, gets knocked up, converts to Judaism,
Of course.
and calls him up and is like, your grandson's going to be a Jew.
Mazel tov.
And then shits me out. And then she converts to Wiccan, so all the other kids are great.
Wiccan Jew.
Yeah.
Fucking band name.
What was the one we had before?
I don't know.
Not as good as Wiccan Jew.
Queef knives or something like
Queef
that?
darts.
Queef darts.
Queef darts.
Queefing darts.
Featuring Wiccan Jew.
But growing up, you have it kind of strange too? Any fire axe handles thrown at you? Honestly, like you always see all these people growing up in like rough hoods and like fighting and getting their ass kicked and everything, and then they grow up to become criminals or something. I was so happy that I grew up and became like a really smart criminal. So that, one of the ones that doesn't have a record.
You ever get thrown on the remand or anything like that?
No.
But,
No, I've been nightsticked by cops until I was
No
unconscious and woke up without a record in the hospital. I've had cuffs put on me.
Okay.
Out of the bedroom and in the bedroom, and I've been put in the back of a car, but like they've never arrested me, never printed me.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I did some filming a few weeks or last month there in that the old Edmonton Remand Center.
Yeah.
That place is psychologically there to fuck you up too. You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean?
it's not Disneyland.
No shit, man.
Yeah.
That is and it smells like fucking a disaster.
What were you?
Me, that guy?
That's
Oh.
plays Nick in a biopic.
Who is that?
It's Sheamus from the WWE.
Fuck,
Oh.
that's funny. Oh, I know who that is. Yeah.
Okay.
Or that dude from The Walking Dead.
I'll have to look that one up. But also, Anne Ramsey died in 1988, so you got to pick a different
Ramsey.
mother.
Ah, shit. Anne Ramsey died in 1988. Wow. Fuck, I'm old. I thought that she still might be alive.
What about Mama? What about Honey Boo Boo's mama?
Oh yeah.
She's got too friendly of a face, though. In
I
spite of
just
it.
know that Nick described her as a large bog hag.
Yeah, my mom does look like a bog hag.
What if Honey Boo Boo plays his mom?
That's what she looks like.
I have to Google that.
A bog hag? Okay. She lost about 60 pounds recently, but she's had like stock white hair her whole
Wow.
life. Like,
Maddie, you're a big cat. You always been a big guy, like even in elementary school and stuff.
Oh,
like this?
yeah.
Yeah. You knew you looked at your kid pictures and you're always a big kid.
Oh, absolutely. I
Yeah.
was always.
How old are you now?
I'm getting up there.
You in your 40s yet?
Not quite.
No?
Don't know if I will.
Mid-30s?
Yeah, mid-30s.
How's your health otherwise? You good or
I'm not feeling good.
no?
yeah,
Is it okay I ask this stuff or?
I guess so. Yeah. I don't
Okay,
know.
I'm not a shy guy, so you're
Yeah.
not a shy guy either. So I wonder, you're agile. Like you're. I always say you're. No,
He's got
like
a
you
lot
say,
of
what do you-
energy.
what do you-
That's
well,
my only saving grace.
Well,
my
you
agility.
talk about the agility and stuff like this, but that's an athletic attribute that never gets mentioned as well. Not only that, but you're very mobile as well. Like when they talk about athletic mobility as well, like I've seen you in that sense too. Like I'm always curious, like how do you feel? Do you feel like when you wake up out of bed, do you feel pretty good when you wake up in the morning, or?
I mean, it's hard. I mean, you know how it's like hard to know another person's journey. Like I don't know how you feel. I don't know how Nick feels.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, I probably just feel like garbage all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, there's
Into the
feel like
microphone, please.
I really. I don't. Okay.
I
really.
closer to it.
Oh, okay, sure. I really sort of identify with my piece of crap car. You know. I just feel like the whole thing is just rattling.
Just keeping it together.
But you know what I mean? I
Like
still
anything,
make it.
that anything can go at any time.
Yeah, anything can go at any time, you know?
That's
Like I'm old, like not old, but I'm 46 now. When I wake up, I don't feel good now.
Yeah.
I don't feel good. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you know, the fact is that, like, I mean, hey, the heart attack could come, like, any time. Like, it could happen
Is there
here.
you got any
could happen
diabetes
later.
going on? Or?
None, as far as I know, no.
Good.
But who knows, right? Who knows?
Well, like the thing is,
But-
because I go to the gym and I'm constantly like measuring the weight I can lift and how long I can run and everything. But you don't, because it's always, your health is always such a gradual change. It's hard to tell. But like my little brother, I played some pickup basketball with him a little while ago, and he couldn't get across the court without getting winded. And that was like an eye opener for him because he was always in like pretty decent shape, and he just stopped doing it. And he thought as soon as he got back to it, he'd be at the same place. So because he had such a long distance between playing basketball, like over many years, it kind of gave him this sort of like, wow, shit, I have lost a lot. So
when you were a big kid in school and stuff like this, and you're obviously agile and mobile and stuff like this, was it any good for athletics? Were you
no athletics, no.
None?
None.
How about did you have the quick wit back then too? Were you kind of a smart ass and that kind of shit to protect yourself, or
I don't know. I think it's gradual.
Do you?
know? I don't know. I'm not.
were you this confident back then, or
No, probably not. Do you think I'm confident?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I get you're one of the few people, Maddie, that I get nervous when I walk in a room with. Seriously. No, I got no problem with that.
You should do that on stage.
when
you should go up like with your biceps up, like follow me on a show, like with your. You know what? Yeah, when that fat fuck. Oh, I'm always sizing rooms up. 2 times in my life. 1 time in Thailand. And then whenever Matt Alladine is next to me, I'm like, fuck.
Not that way. I mean
I
his
know.
wit.
Yeah.
Your wit.
See,
I got great wits.
Yeah.
Everyone
Matt-
loves to
Absolutely
look
do.
at my wits.
Matt actually kind of underestimates himself in a lot of regards that way. I think that, and it's great. Just pretend you're not in the room and I'll keep talking about you. I think that he's written jokes and performed jokes so many times that he forgets that he's actually like a very funny person off script too. And I've kind of noticed it when he's not on stage, when he's just sitting there. Usually he takes like a kind of a back seat sort of thing and sits there. But
It's called a sniper.
yeah, when the opportunity appears, he fucking sends out some dynamite lines. He
sniper,
really does. Yeah. So
Well, they need to fill content too, and that's why I'm here, because I can fucking rattle off.
Yeah, no, I'm you know, it's pretty good to be funny. You know, I'm really good at the show, but I'm not good at the business. So
yeah.
just
That's
hanging around the
an
basement.
interesting kind of compartmentalize the thing too. How to promote your like it's a weird thing that you have to be an MMA fighter, as you guys have to be like as a comic. You got to be a fucking promoter, a bit, you know, an accountant. You got to be a fucking, you know.
Yeah, you've
a
got
muscle person. Go collect your money. Like I haven't been on like in a situation where I've booked my. I don't have anything to sell yet. Is what what I mean. Like when you're talking about going to deal something, you say, okay, I did 20 minutes. Here's my 20 minutes. Now pay me. Like I just don't.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing you'd have to do too. You're an independent contractor as a comic. Do you know what I mean? Like that's so fucking. We're such hookers. You know what I mean? Like.
Well, there's
like strippers and comics live next door cosmically.
yeah, it's the same thing. We
It is
both
the same
we both
goddamn
want
thing.
we both want that reaction. We want that attention.
Absolutely.
And yeah, we're not
We've
paid as
all
much
got
as people
molested
think.
by what? No.
Yeah. No.
That'll silence a room, right?
Yeah.
No, I know y'all got molested. I knew y'all got quiet. Everybody here got
Oh.
molested.
I know they didn't want to get like a freckle on them. They were molesting a ginger. We had to sit quietly in the corner and not tell anyone.
Not if it's true.
The marketing and all that. There are some people that they got big. Was it Chris Kattan I'm thinking of? They got really big and then they started doing comedy.
Oh yeah, you're thinking of Chris Kattan.
And he comes to headline, and he's not a comic. He doesn't have the ability. So the opener and the MC are killing, and he goes up and just falls flat. So it's a good skill to have. It is an incredible skill to be able to talk and elicit that emotion from people.
Absolutely.
And then to go on to find success and still have that skill is really important. I think for me, like, I'm doing some acting right away. I now am writing on a TV show, which is pretty weird. But I've got lots of things. But my card says comedian, because that's what I want to do. That's what I love. That's what got me to the dance. That's the skill set that brought me here. And that's I see too many people get successful in comedy and start getting acting work or getting movie roles, and then they just stop comedy. They Eddie Murphy out, or they like there's lots of examples. Jim Carrey, they want that aspect, which, I mean, they're funny people, they're good and everything. But for me, there's always been sort of this, like, almost a union kind of an attitude about it. You gotta remember what got you there.
Just to kind of question what you just said there, wouldn't you say that Jim Carrey stopped doing comedy because people would just expect him to do Ace Ventura fucking impressions the whole time anyways? I would assume that that's why he would quit.
If
or
you're
Eddie Murphy or something like that.
But the people that Eddie Murphy had some dynamite specials. Like, watching those growing up it was incredible. And after he did that, he started getting movie roles. And I'm not certain that I have a feeling in my heart, common sense, that acting pays a lot more than comedy. It also eats up a lot of your time, but you do have some free time, and it's important to use it. Stand-up comedy is the same as, like, working. It's a muscle. You have to keep working and developing it, and if you don't use it, it's going to atrophy. If you're just reading what other people are writing and getting good at your comedic delivery and not writing anything of your own, if you have the same 5 minutes or 20 minutes that you've had for the past 10 years, it's very stagnant, and it's going to be frustrating there. And that, I see, could be a reason for people to just give up, because a lot of people aren't in it for the struggle.
Yeah.
Did that make sense? I just talked.
No.
Okay, good.
I heard Chris Kattan was impossible to work with in Hollywood too, though. So that's why he's got no career. He's funny as fuck. I remember watching him on SNL in the 90s. That guy is talented as shit. For real. Sketch comedy, goddamn brilliant. With Jim Carrey, you got to appreciate too. His style of comedy, he's not writing jokes. He's going up in impressions, and movies are the right place for him. You know what I mean? Like, in that sense too. What he's doing isn't classic comedy in that sense.
Yeah.
But entertaining as fuck. Like watching old Jimmy Boy watching the 90s doing his St. Bernard, taking a drink of water.
I
Fuck,
love
it's funny as shit.
Fire Marshal Bill.
All of it.
That was so fucking funny.
All that type of comedy has a place for me in my life. I fucking, you know what I mean? I don't have to like one and hate the other. Like I say, it's the meritocracy of laughs. And is he, she, whatever, this, that, or that? Do they craft together an act? Even if they didn't, are they funny off the top? Can they move that funny needle? That's all the fuck there is.
There's like a completely different work ethic for some people. I noticed, like, Louis C.K. comes and he does a sold out theater, a massive show, huge show, finishes that, and then he goes to a small club open mic and is like, hey, can I get 5 minutes? The same night. It's like, he does it because he loves it. It's incredible. And, like, he's got a TV show. He's got money in the bank. He doesn't need to do it. He could easily just live comfortably for the rest of his life. But he loves comedy. And he's going out and doing it and, like, he's doing the struggle. There are comics I know that come days early for their weeks at clubs or whatever, and they just tour around and do unpaid gigs all over because they love doing comedy. They love watching comedy. It gets them, and they just their nose is in the grindstone. They're working their ass off all the time. And I think that, like, hearing your story and seeing you out there, your work ethic is definitely something you have that sets you aside from a lot of comics. You are out a lot. And I honestly, not tooting your own horn, you have made improvements, and I'm excited to see what more improvements you make.
Yeah, I've peaked.
Oh, okay. Well, way to ruin that excitement.
That was
And you also might
anticlimactic.
be a cop.
And there's a good chance I might be an officer of the law.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's weird because a lot of people that have had the success that you have wouldn't get into comedy, because the thing is, in comedy, it's not easy. You fail a lot.
You do, maybe.
I'm sorry, what happened last night, Dave?
I fail all the time. I'm more than comfortable with that.
Yeah.
It's, bombing's like sucking 1,000 dicks in front of your mom, right? How do you fucking avoid it?
I don't know if it's quite that bad, but
That's how it feels to me.
Depends on who your mom
I fucking hate
is.
it.
Yeah, your mom would probably go like, I believe in you.
But you know what? Yeah, you know what? If you sucked 1,000 dicks in front of your mom, it'd probably go better than your set last night.
It's a matter that I just don't have enough wins.
He's trying so hard. You know, he's trying so hard. Do you know that's my? Do you know he's paid to have sex with people, and he's not above going to a strip club either.
And in no way does that hurt my feelings.
Oh, God.
What? Doesn't?
Oh, man.
You just leave me baffled, David.
I know. Well, thank you. I take that as the highest compliment.
I have
really
no
do.
idea what you're talking about right now.
I think by the highest compliment he meant, you're really high, Matt.
I'm just trying to have a couple corn chips here.
Potato corn.
Chips.
Some of those potato corn hybrid chips.
Doritos are corn chips. Lay's are potatoes.
Who's eating the no-name licorice? What is that
Matt
about?
brought licorice.
It's of great value.
Licorice is horrible. Don't you
I'm
find?
McQuik's black
I'm gonna
licorice.
You
tell-
said bring licorice. So
I'm
bring
going to tell you a
licorice.
story about one time. There used to be a comedian in Edmonton named Patty Ford who worked at a candy factory or some bullshit. He would always show up with 2 trash
So
bags.
the thing
full
about
of
Patty
candy.
Ford, if I
Okay.
may.
Into
Matt,
the
go
microphone.
ahead.
Into the
Okay,
microphone.
listen. The thing about Patty Ford.
He's
all right?
getting right into the
That's
microphone.
taped up. That's fine.
You're not going to get it out, Matt.
Just leave
That's
it in
fine.
the
Okay, I'm
stems.
going to leave it in. All right,
leave it
guys. Edit point. The thing about Patty Ford, lovely young man, now lives in Toronto. He, like a lot of comedians, got a day job. Now, this day job is a thing of legend. It is the greatest day job I've ever heard of. And as a matter of fact, after this story, I need to leave and figure out how to apply for this job myself. Now that I'm here for a couple of weeks there, whatever. His job, he worked, I whisper this, he worked for Hershey's Chocolate Canada. And he would go in his own car to different stores around town, like 7-Eleven, Max's, convenience stores, what have you. And he would say, hey, I'm here for your expired Hershey products. And they would always have those in the back. And he would just go to Costco or whatever, get Hershey bars. And he would trade them, bar for bar. Give me whatever. Pick a couple boxes. You owed 37 bars. And then Hershey's is like, and then get rid of that chocolate. Don't sell it, obviously. But, dispose of that chocolate, Patty Ford. You know what I mean? Because it's expired chocolate. So it's no good to anybody. Get it the fuck out of here.
So when I say every Thursday at Yucks, he would show up with 2 trash bags full of candy.
A trunk full, and I would have my own recyclable bags.
Matt is sweating. Matt's sweating now, guys. But so the one day he shows up and he's got a massive pack of licorice, and Matt has a big gulp. Matt takes the lid off the big gulp, puts all the licorice in so it absorbs the pop and swells up. And then it turns into this mush because you left it a while. Yeah. And it's just like this weird, it's basically sugar syrup that is licorice flavored. And he is drinking it like a jar of sap.
I don't remember that specifically, but that definitely sounds like it's in my wheelhouse.
I remember watching it because I was like, oh, cool, licorice. I want licorice. I like licorice. And he opened it up and poured the whole thing in, and I'm like, well, I don't want licorice.
Okay, so I'm a jerk. Okay, whatever.
No.
Look how much licorice I brought.
The great story, though, I got a great story out of it, so it was even better than that. That was also the night where I had a plate of nachos, and you were like, ooh, I need those for a prop. I'm going on stage right away.
I'm sorry.
He grabbed all of my nachos, went on stage, and ate them all.
Hey, comedy's a hustle, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. You either get paid or you get played, and guess what? I'm not getting played.
That was when you were like, I need to borrow these nachos for a prop. I was like, oh yeah, of course. And then you were like, here's an empty plate. I'm like, oh, I see what he did.
Again, I don't remember that specifically. You've mentioned it a few times, but it sounds like it might be something,
It was funny.
I did accidentally.
It was funny.
But, oh my gosh, this just trunk full of Hershey's, like just cherry blossoms, Reese's peanut butter cups, Reese's Pieces, Reese bars. That's just when they came out. I'm talking about, oh my God, Jolly Ranchers. I don't even like the juice in the middle, the hard candies. Oh, just, different. Oh, man.
It's like, when a a jungle cat like kills its prey and
Hershey's
is just
cookies and
it's
cream.
eating a
Oh.
zebra, and you're like, wow, cats can smile. That was like watching Matt every Thursday.
Yeah.
Sitting in the
man.
back with a trash bag full of candy.
That was like the greatest. You know what? And that reminded me of maybe the greatest summer of my life, but it topped it. The greatest summer of my life before that. And, and it's very, narrow view. I mean, you could call a lot of things the greatest time
Isn't
ever,
there
but-
something where you broke a chair in front of mentally handicapped people?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. Maybe later. I don't know if this is all one podcast or still two. Maybe we'll talk about that later. But
You've got it's your
my
episode
friend,
now.
I had a friend who worked in the mall at the Taco Bell in the food court by the Caesar statue. I don't know what
Oh,
it
in
is
West
now.
End, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
West End. And he worked at this Taco Bell. He was a manager. He got fired. He quit a bunch of times. There was like a whole... So every time he would quit or get fired, they just wouldn't even take the key back from him because they were going to hire him again in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Much like some people we discussed.
Yeah.
Keeps getting fired and hired or whatever.
They're
But he's
burning
like,
trucks
that's
down.
it. Fuck these guys, Matt. Fuck these guys. I got the keys. I'm going to go get shit from the stock room. And he's like, you know what I'm going to get? The Skittles. Sour Skittles just came out. And there was a promotion. You buy some, I don't know, the meal at Taco Bell. It comes with 1 pack of Sour Skittles. A full pack.
Yeah.
And so he's just like, I'm going to get a case out of the back. So I got the shopping cart.
Mm-hmm.
And he went out, he grabbed the case, and we had the shopping cart, and we were pushing it back to our houses a few blocks away, and we split the case up. He gave me, now, in a little box, a little green box, there's like 24 packs of Skittles, full, you know what I mean, packs. And then so...
I've never seen you this excited.
Patty Ford.
Reliving this story.
Yeah, no, but yeah, so I had, I don't know, probably 500 single packages of Skittles.
Is
You know,
Skittles like
at-
code for meth or something? Or...
No, just
No, he
sour
just gets
Skittles.
really excited about
The
Skittles.
green
No, like,
packages.
like Skittles the candy?
Yeah. Sour Skittles when they first came out.
Like the
Promotion
candy
at
you get
Taco
from
Bell.
like a gas station. And shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Oh,
got
okay,
fun-
all right,
you
carry
got-
on. I just want to make sure. I was
Probably,
on
I'm just guessing, but probably about 5. There was just so many, and they were just it was just nonstop. There was like no limit. You know what I mean? It's like you would eat Skittles all day, and your pile of Skittles did not get any smaller. Like it just unfathomable.
Infinite
So-
Skittles, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that was like the
Infinitals.
greatest. That was the greatest time ever until I got infinite Hershey products, a freezer full, a basket full, a bin full. Oh my gosh!
Infinite Hershey.
Even after Patty left, Patty moved to Toronto. He stopped working for Hershey's. I was still set for a couple months.
Yeah.
And that was like I was like, what's for breakfast? Hershey's chocolate. What's for lunch? Hershey's chocolate. What are we gonna have later? Well, wings because we're out. We're doing comedy. It's wing night.
Yeah.
Obviously gonna chow down on wings. Go home and have some more Hershey's chocolate.
Oh god.
Oh man,
How long did you live without having to buy groceries? You just ate Hershey's
I
chocolate.
don't even know. Like they're sparse. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, obviously I'd have to buy ice cream to put certain Reese products
Oh, yeah,
on.
exactly.
You know, I mean.
If I could categorize it like as a gas station chocolate bar, like what would you consider your go-to favorite? I got my top 3.
Coffee Crisp.
Yeah, Coffee Crisp brings a lot to the table, 100%.
I like a crunchy. It's kind of like the sponge cake.
Yeah. 2 guy gets caught in my teeth though.
Yeah, I can
Wow,
see the
you know what
appeal,
else
but
gets
it's not
caught in
for
my
me.
teeth? Score. It's the smallest one, but one of the best was that butter
Quality-
toffee with
yeah,
chocolate.
I make
Yeah.
a cheesecake with Score.
And
Score
Score
around it.
was also
Yeah.
a product made by Hershey.
Oh, really?
You understand? And you would just put them in the freezer, and you could just bite off the chocolate. And then just have the hard. It would just crunch in your mouth like peanut brittle. Oh, I'm just rubbing my face now for no reason. Just rubbing my face for no reason.
Where are you at with Eat More?
Oh, I like those eat more.
Yeah, me too.
I like to get them, unwrap them carefully,
Yeah.
fold it so it says "eat me," and then give that to someone.
Oh.
Eat More, the thing about eating Eat More, it's all about temperature control.
If it's
I like
too
them when they're
hot,
frozen.
if it's
You
too
know what I
hot,
mean?
they're bad.
If it's too hot, it's bad. When they're
Oh,
frozen, it's no good. It's about
Yeah.
temperature control.
You gotta have that.
How would
No, frozen is great.
No, I'm not into the frozen.
No,
ones.
I
They'll
disagree
pull your,
with
they'll
the
pull your,
frozen
they'll
one.
pull your fillings out.
Yeah.
Hey, with an O. Henry bar, you ever eat like the peanuts off the nougat, like a corn on the cob?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fucking go-to, right? That's
Yep.
a good time. When you're sitting,
That's how I like to eat
when
all
you're sitting in the
chocolate
back
bar.
of your parents' station wagon, you're cruising through the mountains of fucking BC, man. That's a good way to spend an afternoon as a 9-year-old.
What
You
about
know what a
God.
great chocolate bar is? Even though it's not like, if you go to the Dollarama, right by the till,
I'm rich.
2 for $1.
Nope.
2 for $1.
Got a Rolex.
They got the coconut. They're
Dollar store?
the dollar store chocolate bars. If you look, they're made in Turkey. They're Turkish chocolate. They're my little Turkish delight. Oh,
The actual candy bar, Turkish Delight, was a fucking dynamite fucking candy bar.
it's a Big Turk. Get a
The
Big Turk.
That's
Yeah.
what it
The
was
Big
called.
Turk,
Like,
yeah.
The
Oh,
red,
yeah.
The red shit is...
Oh, those are also available
really?
for what, 78 cents or whatever.
Yeah, they'll
at the
give you
Dollarama,
cancer.
whatever
Didn't-
they are.
didn't it-
Yeah,
kid-
they're made of asbestos.
Didn't a kid once sell his whole family out to like the Nazis or something like that for a Big Turk?
No, that was
What
The
was
Lion,
that
the Witch, and the
from?
Wardrobe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy to
I
understand.
wasn't
World
sure
War
if it was the
II and
Nazis
Narnia
or
are the
like
same.
Queen Jadis.
There's a few obscure candy bars that I'm not sure you'll remember or not. I
Oh,
remember,
try me.
Okay. One of my favorites was, do you remember Cuban Lunch?
No.
No, what's that?
Is that not like a sex move where like you're in the bathtub? And,
Gave her the old Cuban lunch. Hey, how'd it go last night? I had a couple bowls of chili and I gave a girl the old Cuban lunch.
gross.
What are you thinking? Oh, you're disgusting. That's not what I meant. Anyway, Cuban lunch.
It is what you meant.
Into the microphone, everybody.
Cuban lunch was in the shape of almost like an iPhone, and it was a lot of pecans chopped. Yeah, I remember that one too. That was a go-to. The Glossettes, fucking what is it? The Glossettes, cherry.
The raisins.
The cherry one, or the great big thing in the
The
square.
cherry blossom, which was also a Hershey's product, which I received from Patty Ford, that was one of my favorites.
It's the sweetest
We
fucking-
should call Patty.
It's so much sugar in it.
I want to
was,
thank him.
that was the sweetest candy of all time. Like,
No, because it's got the syrupy sugar in
right?
it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, it was obscene how sweet that thing was.
Those were also weird too because you could put it in your mouth, just on your tongue, and it would change.
Where are you at with the crispy crunch?
Oh, I love
I just found a recipe
I
for
like
Cuban
the
lunch.
crunch, yeah.
Me
I
too.
love
You
Yeah.
just
Cuban
found
It's
a
good- it's
Cuban
good bar.
lunch candy. Oh, it looks like a peanut butter cup.
Yeah, Cuban lunch right there.
Oh,
Say that
Cuban
it's shaped like an iPhone, right?
Yeah. Well,
Well,
it's
No,
a Rice Krispie.
surface area. You know what am I going to tell you?
No, that's kind of true.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. McCormick's.
Oh, they
That's-
do the Macintosh's toffee.
Hey, we got
Oh.
some connective tissue.
The
Nice.
Macintosh toffee, I almost have to heat that up when I
love
have
it.
Okay,
I
let's
love
talk about
smashing
Christmas
it.
chocolates, like dog shit drugstore Christmas chocolates. Where
Oh,
are you at with Pot of
God.
Gold?
Pot of gold? Fuck yeah.
50% of the
Like
box
the lemon
is
one?
acceptable.
50% of the box,
The-
and then you eat one. It's like a fucking toothpaste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
It's
all
like,
of it.
wah, wah, wah.
The mint ones, the lemon ones, the fucking ones with the
you're an
little
animal.
sugar.
I love. I
How do you
love.
think I got this big?
You're
You can
a
eat
Nazi.
my cast-offs.
I would get those for people, and then they would open. They'd be like, "Oh," and I'd be like, "You should open it." And they'd open it, and then as soon as they take that little glossary thing out, I would hide it on them.
Yeah, that's
And I'm
life.
like, now it's Russian roulette.
That's life right
Yeah,
there.
No,
like,
man.
you don't
seriously.
even
Fuck,
know.
man. If I don't know what I'm getting, I won't eat it because I don't want one of those fucking strawberry cream things in my mouth.
Oh,
Well,
that's
fucking
gross.
hook a
The
brother
gro-
up.
The coconut bullshit one too can go fuck
Coconut
itself.
is a
I-
little bit, but it's just like it's.
I
a
love
little strawberry
coconut.
cream.
do
I like
too.
Bounty bars, but I don't know what the fuck Pot of Gold does in there. It's like
Well, you should
coconut
try
and
an
fetus.
island bar available
I've
at
had-
the till
Like
at
if you were
Dollarama.
like play Russian
That's a
roulette
product of Turkey.
with a bag or with a box of Pot of Gold, or
Sponsored
eat
by
this
the
99-cent
Turkish
advent calendar, I'd choose the 99-cent advent
Yeah.
calendar.
I don't think coconut when I think Christmas. That's why. You know what I
I
mean?
get
It's not a
whatever.
palm tree kind of business.
I just
Yeah.
remember one time at work because a lot of our clients send Christmas presents all the time, and one of our clients sent this like box of chocolates, and it comes with a guide. And I remember I opened up the box of chocolates and I threw out the guide, and one of my coworkers had the look on his face like it kicked a fucking dog because I threw out the guide. He's like, "What the
Yeah.
hell are you doing? How do you know which one you're getting? Who cares? It's good."
I'll fuck up some turtles too.
those
It's
are
fucking great.
Yeah, I'll fuck up some turtles. I'll fuck up some turtles any day of the week. Doesn't
And
need to be
the
Christmas.
What
for
about a
me.
Toblerone? If we're talking like
Oh,
that?
that's the
I'll-
tits.
I'll
Oh,
do-
I like the Toblerone.
Yeah, I'll reach for that
Wrapped in
before I reach
foil
for the
like a
booze and the
cigarette.
fucking mini bar. 100%.
Toffee, whatever it's fucking called.
Listen,
Toffee phase?
I'll leave my parents in a river for toffee.
Those
For
are
real.
fucking great.
Forget throwing out the map. What you need to do is You need to get it open and then move some of them around. Let them have their lying map.
Yeah.
Let them have a map
But it
of
always
lies.
has the shapes too, though.
Yeah, no, but a lot of them are shaped very similarly, and you have to
That's
watch
true.
like the different lines. So then they're like, oh, for sure, I want this one because it's the cherry.
Settle the fuck
cherry
down, Satan.
Is the king. Cherry is the king. But they put
Matt
out an orange
Alladine's
cream.
Map of Lies coming to Fox on Wednesdays.
You folks don't even know that Matt just came up with $1 billion idea here called chocolate roulette. Seriously,
Wait, can I? But here's the thing: can I be masturbating for hours on chocolate roulette?
Why would it change your day?
As long as we pixelate it.
Yeah, why?
Well, they
Don't let us
have.
interrupt you.
See, they have
Chocolate
that already
shot roulette.
because they're shaped like bullets, and one of them is fucking spicy.
Oh yeah, one of them's actually
Oh.
chocolate covered pepper.
They even have dick chocolate.
How about
Neat.
the drop off in the quality of chocolate between Christmas and Easter? Like Easter chocolate can
Oh,
go fuck
yeah.
itself.
Seriously, I don't think there's anything more disappointing in my life than getting one of those huge rabbits and
Right.
it's hollow. Fuck the hollow.
No,
rabbit.
until
Imagine-
you
It's
taste
harder
it.
than
I'll
fucking
still
if
eat
it's
Until you
not
taste
hollow.
it and you realize you got it at a True Value hardware store.
Yeah,
You know what I
and
mean?
there's a screw in
It's
it.
been sitting there since the fucking
I always
80s.
always
right?
left their like little just pure sugar eyes.
Oh.
Just eat the eyes off of all of them.
That was always the funniest. You bite their ears off and they go, "What?"
Oh, so many of those jokes as a child.
I don't know. I
Blows
always
your
found.
head off. It's dick chocolate. One of them spicy.
Okay.
Sorry.
I remember getting like chocolate, and it would be like it would look almost kind of dusty, the chocolate, and anytime that your brown chocolate looks like it's got white sort of dust on it, you flip it over and it's like 3 years expired.
I love that dusty chocolate.
You love expired chocolate?
If it would be in a hot Patty Ford trunk, it would come out and it would have that little white film.
I ate smart.
And I like to think of it as aged and cured.
What is a sommelier, but for like instead of wines, for like chocolate? Because
That's
Chocolate.
yeah,
The,
sommelier.
the expiration dates aren't for safety; they're for marketing. They want new stock. They want to fucking get rid of it. It's good for years, man.
Conspiracy theories 101.
Nah, man, you gotta just eat some more old chocolate, and you'll know in your heart
You'll know in your heart that
Once
you
it
ate
goes
too much
white.
chocolate when it
It
stops.
ain't right.
soon.
Oh man, the one chocolate bar I like, the Arrow Mint.
Okay.
Fucking carrot.
Bells, yeah.
Oh,
Have you had the
Mint.
Arrow Orange?
No,
Eh,
It's like
I've had the Terry's chocolate orange.
oh,
Oh,
those
man,
that's also
yeah.
orange is good in
I'm not
chocolate.
having that. I'm
Yeah?
not up in orange and chocolate.
You're
Yeah,
not, you're not down
according
for
to
that?
Jamie, that's not
It's
a
like
good thing.
it's just acceptable. It's nothing I go for. It's not worth the calories.
Yeah, but do you ever have an orange and just like put chocolate sauce on it?
Nope.
Oh,
Yep.
I don't even own a chocolate fondue, Matt.
I do that with apples.
you should.
Borrow one of Matt's.
If you ever want me to do this podcast again, we
He's
gotta
got a
get
couple
fondue.
loners in the car.
He's got one in the shop, but he's got a couple in the garage again. Dude.
No, orange.
What are you
and
sticking
chocolate?
with now? Oh, I'm a titanium fondue guy myself. Well, the 36-inch skewers back to the 24s. I'm sponsored by that fondue company out of the
Yeah,
States now.
we should all just, next podcast we should do it the Buffet Royale.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
They got that chocolate waterfall.
I love their fucking ice cream shit.
The,
Damn it.
Ice cream is
Sunday.
the
your
best.
your diet is just the slowest form of suicide you could commit.
Yeah, but I'm
It's like-
strong.
Well, no, it's a bit
I'm
faster
strong.
suicide
No, I
than
figured
like.
this out. I was talking to young Miss Jamie here, and she's got a very delicate palate. She doesn't want to eat too many like weird things to upset her stomach.
Yeah,
And I
eating
feel like
pizza,
the more she accommodates her stomach, the more. But I'll just eat whatever. You show up, bucket of ice cream. Let's do this. Too many nuts. I'm in. Whole bunch of corn, whatever. I'll do whatever, gluten, whatever. So my body doesn't have time to complain about gluten
I
or
was doing-
allergies.
I-
and
I'm-
whatever.
I'm pretty much
I
the
get
same
it
way.
done.
I was doing reparative work because I stressed myself an ulcer. So once it's healing, so now I can fucking like eat again.
No, but I've asked around, and it seems like every time I'm at Yuck Yucks, for example, I'm the healthiest one there. So, I mean, whatever I'm doing wrong, it's fine.
Because we're all so broken.
Oh,
Yeah, isn't that scary?
I remember-
Isn't that scary? Fucking the world's fattest contortionist is the picture of health and comedy. That's right. Just watch him eat a bucket full of licorice Actually, licorice is really good for you.
Junked in a big gulp.
That's why I haven't touched any of the licorice. I just been eating this pizza, son.
Oh,
I made my choices.
Matt, what's your favorite dish?
I know it's not a dish, but Slurpee immediately came to mind.
Slurpee.
Slurpee is my favorite.
No, like if you were to have like a kitchen and like cooking stuff, what would be your thing? What's your favorite? Like for me, it's probably eggs.
Honestly, when you hesitated for a second there, I was thinking you were gonna think like, oh, I don't know, a plate. But...
I mean,
puss.
My thing's not. My thing's
No,
like
I don't even know how to
nachos
prepare
or, like
that.
burritos.
Nachos, burritos. Ooh,
That
chimichangas
kinda,
are good.
like
I like
Mexican.
chimichangas.
I like
various
grilled cheese.
Mexican
Grilled
delights.
cheese is something I go to a lot.
Pierogies.
It's simple. It's there.
Yeah.
Nice
I like.
nachos.
What I do a lot, is I'll run what I call my 7-Eleven scam, which is not a scam. It's perfectly legal. Is if you go in, and I know I've discussed this probably to all of you at one point, but if you go into 7-Eleven, they'll have by the counter like little chips.
Yeah.
Like a little black thing with like 40 little chips, and then you buy that for like $3-4, and the beauty is you get like cheese and chili. There's a little like place for you to put the cheese for you to dip or the chili or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the policy is if you buy something in 7-Eleven, hot dog, thing of chips, whatever, you get unlimited cheese and chili. So just buy a bag of Doritos, and you can have a bunch of cheese and chili. What I like to do is I like to go in, I get one hot dog. This is how I actually do it up. I like to get 1 or 2 hot dogs,
1 or 5.
Like two, well, like if
7
they
or
got
9,
the 2 for
couple
3
hot
or something,
dogs.
like they get like the 2 for 3, the 2 little dogs. Or sometimes they'll be like, yeah, give me a whatever, a $4 smoky, whatever. Give me like 3 taquitos for $5, whatever the mood strikes me. You get something like that, and then what I like to do is get a Slurpee too, and on the way I drop off some coffee cups near the cheese machine. I get a couple bags, and I just go without any shame in my eyes, and I just start filling the first large coffee cup with cheese. And I just stand there with my finger on the button, like nothing's going on.
Like it's perfectly normal to be
Yeah,
doing
and
this.
the clerks don't notice or care or want to confront me about this. So I just fill up the first coffee cup with cheese, and I see how my nerves are. They're usually pretty good. Put the lid on that. Put that up right in the bag as I start the second coffee cup with cheese. Now, if you go to a good 7-Eleven, like I'm talking about like a good neighborhood.
A good 7-Eleven, yeah, we all know that those words don't work.
If you go to like
an 812.
if you go to the 7-Eleven downtown or like in a busy area
One without punk
where
youth.
people will use a lot of cheese and the staff doesn't have a chance to fill it all the time, you might run up at a cup or a cup and a half. And that's when you just start filling cups with chili and get the fuck out of there. But if you go to like one of those 7-Elevens that only people who drive up to and people don't walk by and impulse buy in like a good healthy area where people don't want the gross
Like where
fucking
people
free
jog.
cheese, yeah, then jump on the bus after that, and then you got just take home. So I like to do that and pasta. It's like an amazing, simple, affordable craft dinner. And it's that spicy cheese, which is Cheese Whiz style, but like spicy Cheese Whiz, which is take a little. Here's what I love to do. There's a little.
Dave, I think your restaurant's just got a new supply of cheese.
Yeah,
very,
absolutely.
Very inexpensive.
But the thing is, I will admit that phony Cheese Whiz, that 7-Eleven Cheese Whiz,
Edible
is a
oil
little
product.
unpalatable. Yeah, oily product.
It's edible oil product.
It's a little unpalatable if it's just that and the whatever.
Edible in air quotes.
I don't like to add things like tomatoes or like gross vegetables as a sauce. But what I do find really takes the edge off of that
my God.
spicy cheese, or even just the Cheese Whiz or your craft dinner, is I like to get some original glaze, shake and bake powder. And you just, delicious! A little, the spice of the shake and bake with the 7-Eleven oil spice and some noodle. Oh, spaghettini. Oh, yes.
I gotta hit the gym after this because I'm gaining calories from this conversation.
Wow.
I mean, I don't have a lot of passion in my life, but you get me fucking alone in a 7-Eleven. And I'll find 5 ways. I'll find 5 ways to make myself happy.
It'll be greasy.
This is not a sponsored ad by 7-Eleven, but are you aware of their new $1 value menu?
No.
You can get a skewer of 3 meatballs for $1, a
have a
slice of gross cardboard pizza for $1, 2 cookies for $1. They have a $1 menu. It's fantastical. And and this is how I'm gonna die. By the way, since we're talking about this.
We got that.
I was in Calgary.
We did our own math there, Matty.
I picked up this
Nobody's
Halloween
arguing.
It's
card.
called deductive reasoning, big boy. We got 2 and 2. We got
Fair
it, buddy.
enough, yeah.
Right on.
We all figured
Yeah,
that.
yeah. We didn't think you were gonna die in a skydiving accident.
Anyway, I got this 2-liter bucket of Slurpee bucket. They'll fill it for $1.50. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
I have the same passion for food, but just a different food.
Cauliflower.
You're like a mad scientist, and you're like, I'm a.
You two would have the best cooking show. Honest to
You know what
God.
I find fat. No, you know what it is like a lot. I think a lot of people's relationship to food relates to their sex because it's a similar pleasure center. You know what I mean? And
I don't
Yeah.
put my dick in that cheese. I
You
know where
use
you're
your
going
mouth
with this.
for both.
Yeah. So the thing is, too, I often question, like, that's why when I'm talking to a gal and I'm curious about her relationship to food, I can almost guarantee I know what's going to happen in the intimate moments when she's, you know what I mean, just by how she describes her relationship with food.
So can vegans fuck or what?
Poorly. Anybody can fuck, but I mean, there's a difference between, like, fucking pickup hockey and Olympic. So.
Let's, I heard a rumor on the street that, I hit the Guinness. Oh, dynamite. You don't mind if I drink your
No,
Guinness?
go
right?
crazy, man.
Oh, you're dynamite.
All the beer that's left.
I'll pick up more
Somebody asked me, and I forgive me if this has been talked about for miles on your podcast in the past. Now, is there truth or false that you're a pornographer? You actually make pornography?
I've done several films in the past.
What kind of
and,
production level?
Semi-professional, well above amateur, like.
Locally or?
Yep.
No kidding. Production company based out of Edmonton? Or?
It was. They expanded, and now they're in a couple cities, but I'm not certain where it is entirely coming out of.
How recently?
2012, 2013, 2014.
Out of 10, where would you qualify your experience out of 10?
Is this a job interview?
Why?
69. Say 6.9. 6.9.
I'm going to say more recently, like this year, probably an 8.
Okay,
yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
He shit on a guy.
No, you didn't. Did you really shit on a guy? Was that kind of a porn?
I originally started out porn
It was on the way to the
Buckle
porn.
up. Buckle up.
It was in a bus stop.
They
It was,
ate a
it was
Subway
completely,
salad
it was
and shit on
completely
a guy.
unrelated.
David, you need to hear this
I'm like
anecdote.
this. He ate a Subway salad and shit on a guy.
When I started porn, I was with the girl of my dreams.
Back when people cared.
Yeah. I was with the girl of my dreams, and she agreed that I could do porn as long as there was no penetration. So I did all the weird porns. I did bukkakis, scat play, water sports, weird shit like that. Any projectile porn that I could do from a couple feet away or something, or hovering over somebody. But after she broke my heart and ran away, and I listened to Adele a lot, then I got into a little bit more of like the normal stuff, like gangbangs and weird things like that. And yeah, it's
How many times did you show up to work?
less than 100.
Holy fuck!
I'm under 100 still.
You filmed over 100 scenes? You
No,
think?
under.
But
under
around 100.
Not-
Enough to say around 100. Like this wasn't a weekend thing. You were
Like somewhere between 50 and 100.
Oh,
yeah, I would say
through
over
the
50.
laws of deduction and the amount of pornography I consume, I will absolutely meet eyes with your cock. There's just no. There's no.
Probably.
I'm surprised at the amount of porn that all of us like. I'm surprised I haven't gone. Oh, that's fucking Cynthia from finance.
Now, okay, you've performed the fuck in under 100 scenes.
Yes.
But how many times have
Are you
you
a James Lipton?
acted?
I wanna
How
hear
many
about-
times
okay.
have you acted? Have you had like a character and a line, or is
Well-
it just like and he's another guy fucking?
Here's kind of an inside.
Have you ever
the
been a
actor's-
plumber?
Here's the inside the actor studio. You can film a scene or you can film a release. Now, if you're filming a release, that's going to be like 45 minutes after it's edited. A scene will be like, show up for a scene, that's like a half-day shoot. You show up to like film a full release, a full feature, you're going to be doing that for like 8 hours of fucking very painful fucking. So anytime that you're fucking somebody for more than like an hour, it starts to get painful. So beyond that,
For you,
it's
maybe.
entirely acting. Because like the thing is, when you fuck on film, it's not about having fun. It's about making it look like you're having
don't
fun.
get soft, don't get
Any
soft,
of my
don't get
comments
soft.
that come out of my mouth out of this situation are completely comedic and have nothing but admiration for what you do, because my cock could not do what your cock did. So they keep going.
It was really hard for me.
That's an honest
It was really difficult for me to get hard in front of like strangers
Yeah,
and
it's
like
supposed to, because they're strangers.
yeah, exactly. So that was a weird.
It's a fucking natural,
That was
healthy fucking
really.
response.
It was hard to break that barrier. But then in porn, like the thing is, you have to be able to get hard when they want you to get hard, and you can't come unless somebody tells you to. So like I've been on set before and gotten blue balls, and like I've had to go to the hospital because of it and had a manual release. So like if you're fucking for 6 hours straight and like you just have to stop to let everything cool off and lube up, and like you start getting a rash, and because you're just fucking
I just
going.
assumed by your skin you'd get a rash.
Oh yeah, exactly. Very sensitive
We
skin.
did our own rash math there, didn't
Yeah.
we, Maddie?
But
I
yeah,
wasn't imagining.
I saw you.
You're going balls deep on that concept.
Matt would be a big fan. They usually have a really good craft service table. Well, it's not like really good, but they feed you. They always feed you.
Take me through your first experience, because I'm sure that one's probably imprinted in your mind the most.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
Here you're taking in the sights and smells.
That's because
and
the day I did it, I told it on stage. I showed up at a
Great.
bukkake.
8 people saw it. Perfect.
Yeah,
Keep going.
I showed up at a bukkake, and I walked in, and it was at the.
That's a weird lineup, huh? Where everybody's tugging on their dick just a bit. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Keep a little gas in the tank.
Yeah.
You know?
But you show up, you disrobe in one area, and you sign your non-disclosure.
You and all the homeless people.
Yeah, I learned that a lot of these actors are homeless because you have to get blood work done a week before, and that doesn't cost any money, and they pay you to do this. So homeless people do, and there's food there. So I show up, you walk in, and there's like a wall of smell that hits you, and it is
Another good band name.
a wall of smell. It is Nightmare Factory entering your nostrils, and you're just like, oh, gee. So that just like your heart stops. You're in
I
the
assumed
biz.
it would be like a freight train during the Holocaust going to fucking
Oh,
Auschwitz.
yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
Somebody tipped the bucket over.
Yeah, it is bad. But you're familiar with like the biz, so there's gaffer tape on the floor and to like where the marks are for where you move and everything. Yeah. So she's on a yoga mat on the floor and she's having a great time. And there's a master camera on her.
Cindy.
Yeah. There's a master
Things
camera
have
on
gone
her.
perfectly for Cindy.
Yeah. Now her parents love her. And then there's another camera moving around on a dolly, and that
Just
one's
do this on the
getting
weekends,
us.
pay for my student loan.
But so I have to stand right on the gaffer tape with all these strangers, and the director wants us all in the master, so he's like, "Come on, closer." So we all have to like rub elbows, basically. And I couldn't get myself there, so I bowed out and went in the corner. And there's just people walking around naked, like just casually getting hard.
First of all, I've watched enough fucking bukkake videos. I know that the
okay.
rest of the scene settings for the rest of y'all, but I'm pretty well versed in.
Yeah. So I had to go in the corner and like avoid a fight with a guy. He was getting really hostile, and I just couldn't figure it out. I kept approaching the problem from many different angles. I'm like, how do I get this going? And eventually it just clicked, and I was like, sweet, I'm hard.
Like a magic eye.
Yeah.
Just fucking locked eyes with the dude. They locked eyes with the dude across from him. All of a sudden, he's instantly like a rock.
Yeah.
There's veins in his cock he's never seen before.
Oh yeah, the thing looked like the Incredible Hulk's bicep. But
Fucking cock's holding his breath.
yeah, so I just turn around and I run up, and like everybody gets out the way, and I run up and shoot on her face, or it was her neck, and then they paid me my money, and I had to leave.
She's like a cash register.
Yeah. Yeah. But I was really worried because I didn't know where I was supposed to come, and like I didn't, and like when I did,
Oh, you'll know when they're rolling.
yeah, and when I did, everybody like I kind of was like a bowling ball because everybody in the pitcher's mound had to move out of the way so that I could run up and throw my jizz at her.
Are you gonna use your mic though? You have to use the mic. Use the mic.
Sorry, I wanted when he said I didn't know where to come. I wanted to sound like an old father going, "Oh, you'll know when the time is right."
Oh god.
But yeah, that was my intro to it, and I was really worried that I didn't do everything right, and they called me and they liked it. So
That's amazing. That's now okay. So about what time? Like about what? So you said almost 100 scenes. About what scene did you have an interaction, a physical penetration with a lady?
When I went downtown, it was about. I was more
Is that
than
what they call it in the biz?
Yeah,
I don't want to lose any of the audience members here.
I was-
but
Gonna go
I was more than 20 in.
Na, 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 na.
Downtown. His dick is in there. He's downtown. Nick McQuik.
Matt, he couldn't wait to get to that joke. He didn't even clear his throat before he started singing.
This is Milky Tones.
The horrible voice was part of the experience.
Is that right? It sure was.
I bring a lot to the table.
They pay extra for. But yeah, I was about 20.
Did you guys do a little handshake first? And you're nice. Oh, you're
No,
cute.
yeah,
Oh, I haven't been with a redhead. And you're like,
I-
no, I haven't been with a Chinese chick.
I introduced myself, and I was like, "Hey,
She's like, I'm actually Korean. And you're like, I don't care.
I don't care. Spring roll into action." But I walked up and I was really nice. I'm like, "Hey, I'm Nick. This
Can
is
you
awkward for
describe
all
our
of us."
attractive level or lack of there? Or?
Most of them are pretty attractive women,
Yeah.
and like usually, if you show up at the right time when you're supposed to, you get to see them, and they're just walking around, hanging around without their makeup on, and they look like
real people.
Yeah, they look attractive.
Too bad
but, like,
they're empty vessels.
normal. Yeah.
So what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Too bad they're carrying around nothing.
The thing is, a lot of them take themselves very seriously for what they do. They are very
Well, they
much
shouldn't.
Yeah, they're very much like, I'm a professional.
Jamie,
So-
that she laughed at that.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
She's trying. I love it. I love it.
I'm just as terrible as you motherfuckers.
But the thing is, the camera.
They shouldn't.
Yeah, when
I
you're
can
working,
attest to that.
when you're working with one production crew, like you get to know all the cameramen and like the sound guys and everything. And it was about the time.
Hey
when
Bob, how was your weekend? Pretty good. I didn't get any jizz on my face.
yeah, exactly. Got the smell out.
Awesome. All right.
But,
Hey, this place smells extra bleachy today.
yeah.
Don't know anything about that.
They actually had one dedicated cleanup crew, and they were like the
Dedicated.
most. They were the most
God.
unhappy
I bet
people
you they
in
got
the
paid, like,
world.
Is there
way
a certain
extra.
race? Because you think about like how
Filipino?
like, that's why all the native indigenous people work in the skyscrapers and the beams and stuff like this, right? So
Yeah,
is
'cause they aren't afraid of heights.
well, there's a certain acromal that comes with that
Yeah.
sense. So you're saying Filipinos were the ones that were doing that?
Yep. I talked to them a little bit, but they pretty much kept to themselves
get
and didn't talk to anybody.
Paid extra to clean up human waste product? I feel like you would.
Some biohazard.
Are we
You
going
went to
back
Nate-
to the?
Totally
Are we going back to the
biohazard.
minimum wage
Nate-
discussion?
Nate,
No,
Nate
but I
should
just feel like I
offer a
could
course.
totally clean that shit if ever I needed
Well,
to.
maybe-
My uncle used to like
Maybe-
go see guts cleaning people, and they got paid way extra.
Well, here's the thing. Maybe
To
they
clean up
don't.
guts.
Maybe they don't get paid like more than other people for a shift. But like the cleaning up human waste shift, they just stand around for hours, and then it's like a quick cleanup at the end. They just get the mops, boom, it's cleaned up. They bleach it up, boom. But like for several hours, they might have just been like hanging out on set. And they
Have
get to
you
watch.
have
Sorry,
you ever
I
been to a jerk booth
had a
with
lot
the
of
windows where you're
Doritos.
jerking off
Yep.
in the booth? I've never been to one of those.
Oh man, those are nightmare factories. They are not. I went there once. One of my brother's friends turned 18, and for his birthday, we went to a casino, and then we went to one of those places.
Oh, that's a fucking night.
And like, I walked in, and I was like, it was winter, so I had gloves on, and I'm like, I'm just gonna leave the gloves on and throw them out when I get outside. It was like,
I'm gonna burn my skin.
yeah, it was.
Fuck.
You do not want to go in there.
Fuck. I am a fucking pervert, but I will not cross that fucking line.
Yeah,
I've done some pretty sexually risky behavior, but that is a bridge too fucking far for this kid.
What about it is too far?
That doesn't.
the wallpaper.
No, what happens? It's weird trying to discover your own sexuality because it's a weird fucking beast, right? And trying
Yeah.
to figure out what makes you fucking tick and doesn't. Just another kind of perversions move my sexual needle. The idea of jerking off. As I don't like watching girls in bad spots. That doesn't fill my cock up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all that gets me going.
I like to see some respect in this situation.
It's a weird moment, but that has to be there. You know?
Well, like you've done acting, and now when you watch television, you kind of like watch it through like a different lens because you kind of understand it a bit better, right? So for me, I kind of have the same thing with porn. So now when I'm watching porn, I'm like, oh my god, this is terrible production. Oh fuck! Like there's a lot of different things that I notice in it, and it's very obvious. It's like that guy was covered in sweat a minute ago. Now he's not. Jesus Christ!
Well, that's why I'll never make porn because I don't want to take it out of it. I'm just, you know what I mean? Same reason I don't go to see how my fucking sausage is made in the factory. You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah.
Have you ever accidentally clicked on your own scene?
I watched one porn I did.
But like, did you set out to watch it, or you're like,
no,
oh,
and I did not like it. The The porn I normally do, the porn that I do is very abnormal, and I do not understand the fetish. The fetish of like me shitting on another dude, that won't.
You couldn't wait to weave that in, huh?
Yeah.
We weren't even going to bring that up. But he had to. That was all him, folks.
See,
I did bring it up initially.
I get it. I steered that car back on the road. But okay, tell us how. Was he underneath a glass top coffee table, or was it like directly?
Saran wrap.
He had saran wrap. Yeah, I know the story lots. I gotta hear it a lot. I'm entertained by this. I'm like,
I've
"You shit
taken
on a
notes."
dude."
I've seen her notes on it.
I totally like make him tell the story of just being like, this happened.
No, Jamie. The thing is, you're a very good artist. Why don't you like draw it?
No,
With my
that's
shit?
crossing the line.
I'll have to get you like an 8x8 canvas.
That's outside my boundaries. We could
make sure you buy a lot of brown.
we could find a screen grab and then have you print it.
Oh.
Yeah, we could do that. We could even do it up to a 4x8.
See, I used to talk about it on stage, and I told the name of it on stage a few times. And then a few comics started coming up to me afterwards, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I saw that porn. I saw this. That was kind of weird what
Wasn't
you did
it
there."
just Mark?
No, Mark was the one that's seen every single thing I did.
I avoid it.
Yeah,
Who's Mark?
Mark McHugh.
Mark McHugh?
He's at the
He's at
Empress
Empress
tonight.
tonight.
He's seen every.
Oh,
porn
I know
did.
Mark. I know Mark. Yeah.
Yeah, he. So he made it really weird because he would like come up to me with notes and stuff, like a casting director almost, and I'm like, "What the fuck, Mark?"
Yeah.
So I had to stop saying the names of all the porns because it was getting very weird within the stand-up comedy community. Because I'm like, "Cool, everyone's seen me naked now."
No, seeing you naked's one thing. Being on a hockey team and watch your buddy brush his teeth in the shower, watching you fuck on camera is a different type of naked entirely.
Yeah,
Don't you think? And you dropping a
there's-
fucking
there's-
deuce on a guy's fucking chest. That's a
there's-
fucking another level.
Certainly a
altogether.
spectrum of nudity.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's
Nudity just ups the vulnerability of a situation.
Yeah,
and
it's-
then the more vulnerable you are, it just compounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about intimacy. And I
gotta-
never want to be so intimate with Nick that I've seen him shit on somebody.
so do most people.
I think I'd rather watch him shit on somebody rather than watch him fuck somebody. I'll be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
At least they'll have some eye contact.
Well, it
with
depends
him
if he loves that person or not. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Here's
later.
the
Love's a
thing,
big
though.
word.
But have you ever done any like porns where like you're fucking, but then you just like shit yourself?
No.
Well, if
you
you
ever
do, you'll
fart?
have to like send me a link
Oh,
to
yeah.
that.
Did you
'cause
ever
that's
like
all that I
just
like.
No,
fart?
I haven't done a fart.
Such a
I
professional.
farted on set.
No, but like just by accident farted while you're like
Oh, yeah.
like doing fucking.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. But the
James Joyce did all those.
when you got to imagine you're popping a squat. You're
Why did
hovering-
you keep going back? You went almost 100 times. What kept you going? Was it fun? Was the work good? Was the money good? What was
Initially, I did it on a Monday in the morning, and then I went to Hit or Miss Mondays at the comic strip, and I told the story, and it was the best reaction I had received, and I got all this work out of it, and I was like, this is an incredible story. I would go around town, people were like, oh shit, and there was so much attention. The pay isn't that great, but the stories I was getting out of
Yeah.
it were incredible. But I noticed
Not
that
to
there
mention
was
the genital warts too.
yeah.
You know, you
Man.
can just freeze them
Chlamydia.
off.
I got to
Oh,
tell
yeah.
you, because the blood work that you're doing there, you've never fucked anybody that clean. Because if you have the fucking
I would say that
sniffles-
too. Honestly, you
Yeah.
have to say that. That's cool, man. Because
Oh,
nobody
yeah.
would fuck me after I told that's cool. You say what you have to say.
but
And the professional porn, you gotta get your test.
yeah, it is crazy.
I read Jenna Jameson's biography, you guys. I know.
Huh. I read her back tattoo. But you gotta like it takes like it twists your brain a bit now. Like I don't have a sexual appetite.
Really?
Like
I'm surprised. I didn't see that coming out of anywhere. Wow.
The-
Okay.
the sex-
Explain. Do tell. Peel a couple layers.
yeah, it changes it. Like if you love writing and then that becomes your job, it's hard to look at it as the thing you love. So if it kind of it dampens your joy on it.
I would
happened to me
disagree
with-
entirely.
That happens,
Oh,
that happens to me with everything. When something I love, I see it as just a straight up job that I have to do 40 hours a week. Like have to. Just fucking takes the wind out of my sails.
No. I get full. I got another appetite behind it. My ball's empty. I know there's another one coming down the track.
yeah. It's Matt. You got any social media?
I exist at Matt Aladdin. And
Standard spelling
by
of
the
that?
time this episode is edited, I promise to have 3 tweets up.
Oh,
I also will update my free Wix page
I don't know what that means.
Well, here's the thing about my website. Someone told me.
TEK.
Somebody told me, quite simply, get a free website. Go out, Google. There's like free template, whatever. So I went out and I got one, and it was like, I don't know, Matt Alladine at Wix.com or something. And then so I showed it to a bunch of comics, and like, of maybe 10 comics I told it about, 4 of them are like, oh, Wix, that's what the escorts advertise on. Apparently that's prostitutes always make free websites on those too.
Wix.
So I feel that's really appropriate.
Maybe you should switch to Squarespace.
Maybe I should.
Pretty respected.
But anyway, check out mattalladine.com or something like that.
Or something like that. Okay.
I don't know, whatever. You know what? Just come to a show. And if I'm there,
And you
consider yourself lucky. And if I'm not, just keep coming till I'm there. You know what I mean? You owe it to yourself to wait for me. You know what I mean? I'm worth waiting for.
Matty Alladine's a very funny comic and an incredible entertainer. If you see him up, if you see one of his posters in town, for real, go see him. You're not going to be disappointed.
And if you want to see where I'm performing, just check out David Media. I'll be posting all of my gigs and tour dates.
Jamie Null, you got your Twitter at Dark Pizza.
Shit. Dark Pizza.
At Dark
Underscore makes me feel so like
19.
I know, but they didn't have just one. Someone who doesn't tweet has one word.
Report
like the
them.
One word.
You just go on theirs and report them for like racial abuse or something, and then they get rid of them.
Or something.
Cool.
Exactly. Play the race card. Tom, you're on Twitter.
Yeah, Tomb the Musician.
And where can people find your albums?
TombTheMusician.bandcamp.com.
Okay, sounds good. And as always, I'm the one that had the thing with the stuff now. Goodbye.
Well on you.
You gotta have the staples. You gotta have milk and eggs.
Had a girl
And
tell me-
I'm gonna come.
You need to keep receipts and make a budget for this thing.
You would figure with all the scales my mom had, she'd be really good at. Some
And
people.
folks, he did this all with red hair.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
Let this be a lesson to all you kids at home.
And
All
for
this with
part-
red hair.
And there used to be dreadlocks.
Okay, guys, as always, our music is done by Ben Sound, audio touch-ups and engineering done by Triptych Winter. Thank you very much for listening to the podcast. We had a wonderful time making it. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to it. If you could go to our Facebook page and hit like on that, or Twitter and follow us or some such, it actually kind of helps out. Or if you're on iTunes, like, favorite, subscribe, rate, review, I don't know, do something. Just do things, okay? Thank you very much.
That's a normal thing.